I opened the blinds more to lock the window, and I saw someone hanging off my window, just hanging there, watching me. They dropped, hit the ground, and ran. Up the hill, into the parking lot behind my apartment, and took off. My window is on the 4th floor, at least 12 feet off the ground. And someone had been hanging there, watching me sleep. I'm Alvin, and this is Common Ground Horror. Right now, it's 5:05 in the morning as I'm writing this. I just moved to Pittsburgh around 4 months ago. I got my own place, and things have been going okay. It's not perfect, but it's mine. First time living completely on my own. I've been sleeping in the living room of my apartment because I'm still trying to move stuff in. The bedroom is basically storage right now. Boxes everywhere. Furniture I haven't put together yet, so I've just been crashing on the couch in the living room. It's temporary, but it works. The building I'm in has 9 floors, where the 5th floor is basically the lobby. It's a weird setup. The building is built into the side of a mountain, so the entrance is on the 5th floor, and the floors go down from there. I'm on the 4th floor, 1 floor below the lobby. The thing is, outside my window, it's at least 12 feet from the ground to the window, maybe more. Because of the way the building sits on the hillside, there's a parking lot behind the building, up the hill. But beneath my window, there's just a steep slope. No balcony, no fire escape. Nothing. Just a straight drop. Nobody should be able to reach my window. Not without a ladder or climbing. 2 hours ago, I woke up out of my sleep, and I was sleeping pretty good too. Deep sleep, the kind where you're completely out. But something pulled me awake. I don't know what. Just that sudden jolt where you're suddenly conscious and you don't know why. When I woke up, I realized it was still dark out. There was no sunlight coming through my window. Just darkness. And then I got this feeling, like someone was watching me. I just laid still, didn't move, trying to wake up a little more, making sure I was actually awake, that this wasn't sleep paralysis or something, because I've dealt with that before, and it's terrifying. But this wasn't that. I could move. I could turn my head. This was different. I felt intimidated. That's the only way I can describe it. Like there was a presence in the room. Something that didn't belong. So I looked around, slowly. My living room was dark. Just a faint glow from the streetlights outside. I didn't see anything at first. Nothing out of place. Nothing moving. Until I looked at the window. My window has blinds. Earlier that night, I had closed the window because I was freezing. But when I did that, the blinds were still cracked. Not completely shut, just partially open, letting in a little bit of light from outside. Now, when I looked after waking up, I swore I saw something. A reflection, coming from the gap in the blinds. Something catching the light. I tried to ignore it. Told myself it was nothing. Just a trick of the light. And I tried to go back to sleep. But I couldn't. because it felt like someone was staring through the back of my head. That constant crawling feeling, like eyes on you, even when you're not looking. I thought, screw it, let me just close the blinds. I really didn't want to. I'd just woken up. And I'm a lazy person. But I was getting annoyed that I couldn't fall back asleep. So I got up, started walking toward the window, and I stopped about halfway there. And I stared at that reflection. And I was like, what the hell? That looks like an eye. That's not a reflection. That's definitely an eye. I rubbed my eyes. I blinked a few times. I looked again, and it was gone. I thought, okay, it's just me being sleepy, seeing things. My mind's playing some tricks. So I kept walking toward the window to shut the blinds. But something told me to make sure the window was locked. I don't know why. Just this instinct. This voice in my head saying, check the lock. In order to lock the window, I needed to open the blinds more to reach the latch. So I grabbed the cord and I pulled. The blinds lifted and I saw them. Someone was hanging off my window, just hanging there, holding onto something. The window frame, maybe, or the sill, I don't know. But they were there, right outside. Their face pressed close to the glass, watching me. The second they saw me see them, they dropped. They just let go and hit the ground. They ran up the hill toward the parking lot behind my apartment, and they took off, right into the darkness. I didn't know what to do. I just stood there, frozen, staring at the empty window. My heart was pounding. My hands were shaking. I couldn't process what I'd just seen. I went to the kitchen and got something to drink, just trying to calm down, trying to make sense of what the hell had just happened. And I figured I might as well write it down while it was still fresh, before I started second-guessing myself. The face was blurry. I didn't get a good look. It was dark, and everything had happened so fast. But I remember certain things, details that stuck with me. Their eyes. They had black eyes. Completely black. I don't know if that's because it was 3:30 in the morning and the light was bad, or if their eyes were actually black. But that's what I saw. No whites, no color, just black. And they were wearing all white, but it was dirty, stained, like they'd been crawling through mud or living outside. The clothes hung off them, too big, or maybe they were just that thin. I don't know. But the white stood out against the darkness. That's how I could see them at all. That's how I was woken up. And I'm not going back to sleep now. I'm just gonna wait for sunrise and go do something. Get out of this apartment. Because I can't stay here right now. Not after that. That really tripped me out, and I'm still not sure if I saw what I saw, or if I was just groggy from waking up. But I was up for at least 20 minutes before I went to the window. I was awake. I know I was. This wasn't a dream. This wasn't sleep paralysis. This was real. I keep thinking about it, about how long they were there, because that feeling of being watched, that's what woke me up. So they must have been there before I opened my eyes. How long? Minutes? Hours? How long were they hanging outside my window, watching me sleep? And how did they even get up there? My window is 12 feet off the ground. There's nothing to climb. No ladder, no fire escape, no balcony. Just a straight drop to the hillside. But they were there. Somehow. I thought about calling the police, but what would I even say? Someone was hanging off my 4th floor window? They'd think I was crazy, or high, or making it up. And besides, the person was gone. They ran off into the parking lot. By the time the cops would have gotten here, there'd be nothing to find. But I keep thinking about those eyes, black and empty, and the dirty white clothes, like they've been out there for a while, living rough, or worse. I looked up the building later, trying to see if there's any way someone could climb to my window. And technically, yeah, there's a ledge, a narrow one. One that runs along the side of the building, maybe 6 inches wide. If someone was desperate enough, or crazy enough, they could edge along it. From the parking lot down to my window. But that's insane. Who would do that? Unless they'd done it before. Unless they knew exactly where to go. Unless my window wasn't the first one they'd looked through. I asked my neighbors if they'd seen anything, or if anyone had complained about someone lurking around. Nobody had. Or if they had, they weren't saying. One of them just looked at me weird, like I was paranoid. Maybe I am. But I know what I saw. I've started keeping my blinds completely closed at night, and I check the window lock multiple times. Right before I go to sleep. Every single night. I even put a chair in front of the window, so if someone tries to open it, the chair will fall, and I'll hear it. But sometimes late at night, I still get that feeling, like someone's watching. And I wonder if they came back. If they're out there right now, hanging off my window, staring through the tiny gap in the blinds, waiting for me to look. I don't know who they were or what they wanted, but I know this. They knew where my window was. They climbed 12 feet to get there, and they stood there long enough for me to feel it, to wake up from a dead sleep. Because some part of me knew I was being watched. If you live in an apartment on an upper floor and you think you're safe because nobody can reach your window, check anyway. Lock it. Close the blinds. Make sure. Because people can climb. And some of them will do anything to watch you when you think you're alone. I learned that the hard way at 3:30 in the morning in Pittsburgh on the 4th floor. If you've lived through a nightmare you can't explain, I want to hear it. Send your stories to commongroundhorror@gmail.com to be featured on the channel. This has been Alvin for Common Ground Horror. Until next time, sleep well, if you can.